So first and foremost, I think it'd be really great if we can hear a little bit more about each of you really quickly, what you do, kind of your career trajectory, where you came from, all that fun stuff. So why don't you start off?
Sure. Can everybody hear me? Cool. Yes, so I'm a designer and illustrator and writer.
What's your name?
Jez. My name is Jez. Hello. Thanks, Aundre. My name is Jez. The things I just said are true. Let's see, what do? I do a lot of illustration and design. Last year I had a book come out called Dictionary Stories, which was a book of constrained fiction written with example sentences from dictionaries. And that is a pretty good indicator of the kind of things that I make, which are totally inexplicable. Yes, I think that probably explains enough.
My name is Carissa, and there was a gentleman who asked last time, how do you tell everybody what you do really rapidly? And this is something I've been working on for many years, and I'm still not able to. But I moved out to San Francisco because I didn't get into any other graduate programs, and I can't leave. And it's been 12 years, but I just finished, or I'm a co-founder of Culpa Press. Does anyone know what that is in here? But I haven't worked with Luca for a really long time. I am founder of a small company called People I've Loved. And I just had a second book come out with Chronicle, It's Okay to Feel Things Deeply, which is from when I stopped taking my SSRI while I was doing the Facebook residency right after Jez.
Oh, can you guys hear me? It's hard to tell because it just sounds, oh, now I hear it, okay. Well, first, I just wanted to say, thank you guys for coming. It's really hard to do, it's easy to not do stuff, so thank you for doing stuff. No, I'm serious. There's someone who didn't come today that woke up with every intention and I was like, I'm just gonna sleep. And they're missing out, so thank you guys for coming. My name's Aundre. To talk about the thing you said really quick about what do you say when you're tired of saying the same thing, there's, if anyone watches basketball, I'm a big basketball fan, and there is the center for the Dallas Mavericks, DeAndre Jordan, normally shoots a horrible percentage from the free throw line, but one thing that he started doing was he would talk to his teammates before he touched the ball, and then he would get up to it, and it would help loosen him up. So one thing I would always say is even I said thank you to you guys, it's a quick reminder that oh, this isn't just about me and I don't exist in this universe or whatever. And it's just a quick way to do stuff. So I always would just say find something to talk about before you talk about yourself, because then it feels less gross. And then now we're gonna get super gross. So my name's Aundre. I'm a photographer. I was an Adobe Creative Resident last year. I like to do projects that are about why people are important, and I shoot a lot of portraiture. My friend Kelsey is here, and we worked on a project this year called Blocked from the Ballot that was about voter disenfranchisement in my home state of Florida. That was really, really important to me. I also, I don't know, I do all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, my photography just comes back to can I make something normal seem interesting? And I was really excited to get invited today because sometimes in a room full of tech folks, when they think creative, they think immediately UI, UX, and graphic design. So sometimes creating through photography can feel superfluous and unnecessary. So it's nice to have that moment.
Awesome. Really diverse group. Hope you're all excited. Here's some insights. The topic today, do you all know what it is?
No idea.
Wow, this is embarrassing. For you. Don't worry, you'll get it. So the topic today is instinct, preparation,
luck.
And luck. So when this topic first came up, I honestly didn't know what it was going to become. Finding your moment. What does that mean when we say that? Finding your moment. If you're a photographer, I think maybe it means you're capturing the right moment as it flashes by, right? Or if you're a designer or an illustrator or an artist, it's capturing an idea before it escapes you. But it can be many other things too, right? So we're going to dive into this topic and hopefully get a lot of good insights from this group. And I want to start by asking each of you, of these three things, which one do you think has contributed the most to your career success? If you had to pick one, and why?
Between luck, preparation, and what was the last one?
Instinct.
Instinct.
Is it okay to say luck, but I don't know if I believe in luck?
Elaborate. This sounds great.
Well, no, I mean, I guess I think I want to acknowledge that I came to being in a time where I had parents of lower income, but people who believed in me, and I grew up with the idea that I could do things, which I don't know if, I had a lot of advantages, and I feel like I guess I don't know, going back to how would I define luck, or how are we defining these terms that we're supposed to align with?
Maybe we'll come back to that.
Okay.
I think that's a very good answer. First and foremost, like, there's no right answer here, right? Like, we'll align on what our definitions are, but really I want to hear from your perspective right now, again, what you think of these three things really contribute the most to your career. And the answer is probably realistically, well, it's all of them, of course, right? With some hard work and some networking and all these things, right? But if you had to pick one of these three, what would it be? So luck, sounds like. What else we have?
Preparation, probably.
Why?
Because I'm not a very instinctual person, and it's probably split evenly between preparation and luck. Because preparation feels like the vast majority of what I do, and then luck is just kind of like the sprinkle of goodness that kind of pushes it over the finish line. Instinct, I don't really trust myself a lot with that. I just kind of rely on the other two to get to the finish line, I think. Yeah.
Jez, what's something you prepared for? Like, talk about your preparation. I'm curious, since you made a book about dictionaries.
Yeah, well, I mean, that book felt like entirely preparation, because it was a lot of time spent reading and taking all of those example sentences from a dozen dictionaries, learning about lexicography, meeting lexicographers, spending a lot of time kind of tending to spreadsheets, which is, I feel like, 90% of what I do now, which is very exciting. Yeah, it's just kind of, I think preparation gives me confidence, because I can come to a task, or I can come to an idea knowing that I've spent a completely implausible amount of time working on it, and that's what, yeah, the luck is just kind of comes in at the end and takes all of that preparation to somewhere, hopefully, but the preparation is what gives me confidence, I think.
Interesting. So I guess that leaves me with instinct. I don't know.
Are you being honest, or are you just taking it?
I'm not like a hunter, but I will try. Well, I mean, when I think about instinct, I think about the idea that, like, how many people don't live in San Francisco that are here? Are there any New York people?
One person from New York.
The thing that's going to be really interesting about New York in particular is, like, I always joke that everyone that moves to New York moved because they think they're like God's gift to everything. No, I mean, we all do. You move and you're like, oh, no. Watch. And so I think the thing that makes it really interesting when we were talking about instinct is, like, I was born in the country of Jamaica. I have to say that because when you're in New York, people say Jamaica Queens. Then we moved here, and if any of you are Jamaican, like my friend in the front row here, or have immigrant families, you understand that concept that, like, if nothing else, you will always be prepared. Like, and that's just like drilled into you. But I think instinct is really fascinating because it can be the idea that you know to put yourself in a position to be somewhere that will allow luck to happen to you, which can be really difficult and messy, because we all know people that we went to high school with or college or just from anything that you think might even be more talented than you are or more prepared, but can never seem to, like, get it together. And I think that for me, instinct is maybe like an arm of preparation, because I try to spend time learning from other people, even if it's not something I specifically can work on, because when you hear about other people's experiences, like, it's a quote I heard when I was in high school that, like, a poor man, like a dumb man doesn't learn from his mistakes, a wise man learns from his mistakes, and a smart man and a wise man learns from others' mistakes. Just like understanding that maybe if we're talking about the idea of networking from before, that, you know, if you're farming, just like over time, sometimes you'll get stuff that, like, maybe you don't need, but you can still learn from. And so a lot of times when I'm talking to people that work in mediums that I don't necessarily do, it's helpful because if they talk about their process, I might be able to understand, like, next time I'm talking to someone that's a designer that may want to hire me for something, how they articulate this is at the same level of detail that I got from this other person. And I think that instinct is so much of, like, kind of calcified learned behavior. Does that make sense? Or is that weird? Okay, it makes sense, whatever. And so, yeah, that's what I try to draw instinct from, is, like, you always get vibes from people, and taking a minute to ask, like, what is it that I'm learning from this person? Do I feel like I'm getting a bad vibe because I feel threatened that they are more intelligent than I am and I could actually learn something from them? Am I getting a bad vibe because I feel like they don't provide value for me, and am I being selfish and gross, or like whatever that is? But just trying to like, I think instinct is like a lot of that is preparation through speaking to others, and the last part of it is like trying to be honest with yourself about why you feel the way you feel, and it could like maybe help you, maybe not get everything you want, but feel comfortable with what's available to you.
Very well said.
Okay.
Really good stuff in there.
Don't do that. See, no.
Hey, we're on the clock. We're on the clock.
No, please don't.
So I have to be honest, just so everyone's aware, while we're on this theme, we did not prepare for this at all. In fact, this is the first time I've met these people, with the exception of Jez. With that said, I was really expecting each of you to say luck would be the number one thing.
Why were you expecting us?
Thanks for asking.
Sorry.
That was like a great setup. Because usually when you talk to people who are really successful in their careers, it's always, the hard work. It's always some of the instincts and some of the preparation. But luck is that one thing that we can't really control, right? And so whenever we feel really successful in our lives, and if you're humble at least, you'll kind of say that the universe presented those things to you rather than it was all hard work, right? Like, I don't really know anyone who has gone somewhere through just hard work. I mean, certainly it happens, but I personally don't know anyone. There's always a little bit of luck. There's always a little bit of preparation. There's always like the mix, right? So I'm a little bit surprised, but I'm really glad that we have such great diverse answers. This will be good. So I have a few questions following on what we just talked about and what you all just shared. So one thing I want to talk about actually goes back to what I was just saying, where preparation, it's preparation. You do it. It's an action you either do or do not do. You prepare, right? And sometimes you don't know what to prepare, and sometimes you do. And instinct is something